What's good, everybody? It's me, Tim Keys, and today I'm here with a sound design tutorial. I'm going to show you how to remake the patch from Ginuwine and Timberland's Pony. Now, I've done this video before in the past, but there were some audio issues, so I wanted to redo this video. And I'm going to show you how to make that patch using Reason's devices. But before we get started, I'll give some background information. That famous burp bass patch that you hear in that sound on the song from Pony is it came from the emu Morpheus. And the name of the patch specifically, I think it was called like Yowie, Owie O, or something like that. And basically, it comprised of nothing more than a sawtooth wave and a format filter. Um, the Emu Morpheus was awesome for its time. It was a rack module that came out back in the 90s, I think 96, maybe a little bit earlier. But what made it special was not the use of its samples, but the use of its filters. They had these, they called it Z-plane filters, and they had stuff that resembled everything from your format filters to filters that resembled a guitar pluck string to comb filters, phasers, you name it, this thing could do it. And it was remarkable for its time. The Z-plane filters were also found on models such as the EMU ASI 32. If you had the expansion, I think you needed like the 3.02. It was also found on like the EMU 64, the EMU 4 rack sample modules, as well as the Ultra Proteus. But if you really, well, yeah, it was on the Ultra Proteus. So if you wanted to get down and get your hands on those filters, you needed the Morpheus or the Ultra Proteus. And I don't even think you can find those right now. I see them pop up occasionally. But those are the units responsible for making that sound. I'm going to show you how to recreate that patch today using some Reason devices. Before we get started, I will just remind you that anytime you're recreating a patch, there's that possibility that you're not going to get it to sound exactly the same. That's just due to the fact of the algorithms of your plugins, your VSTs, and how they differ from that of hardware. No two hardware units are the same, blah, 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 blah. However, this tutorial will get you a very good starting point for how to get to that bass sound. You'll get very much a close approximation. All right, so I'm using Thor. That's what I got pulled up. You want to make sure your Thor is initialized when pull it up. If not, initialize it. You want to click on Show Program. If, yeah, I'm going to say if. It will start you off with the analog oscillator. That's perfect. That's what I prefer to use. And you want to make sure you have the sawtooth wave selected. After that, you want to go into your filter, filter 1, select the format filter. All right, so I'm playing a bass C note. I'm using a MIDI controller, so I couldn't tell you exactly what key of C, specifically C1, C2. Doesn't really matter. You want to get the lower octave. So the next thing you want to do in this format filter, you want to take this marker right here and kind of drive it up. And what I'm doing is I'm just trying to get a feel for it by sliding this marker down. So I'm going to leave it somewhere around the, let's see, the 80 mark. I should have locked my controller in to adjust this on a more fine-tuned level. This will suffice. So I'm at that 86, 81 mark. And this is good for what we want to do. Now I want to go down to my mod matrix. I want to hit source, go to LFO1. I'm going to do 3 instances of LFO1, and I'll show you why. You don't have to do it this way. If you're more, you know, proficient in sound design, feel free to use multiple filters, envelopes, whatever. But if you're doing a basic patch creation or you're just getting started out, it's kind of good to limit your, I won't say limit yourself, limit your usage of LFOs and envelopes to like having maybe one LFO or envelope adjust multiple parameters on a synth, just to simplify the process and not get overwhelmed. So LFL 1, my first destination is going to go to the filter, and I'm going to adjust the x-axis. The second thing I'm going to do with the next slot for my filter 1 is I'm going to adjust the y-axis. And then for my third LFO instance, I'm going to adjust, again, filter 1, and I'm going to adjust the gender. Nothing yet. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust my modulation destination and go back, because I want to try to make sure that I'm simulating the marker going down as opposed to going up. I'm going to do the same thing with my y-axis. I'm going to adjust the LFO. And then I'm going to turn my gender knob all the way over. And I'm going to I'll leave it at 32. Now I'm going to go to my LFO, slow down the rate. I might make that a little bit more higher, down to 50. Turn it up just a little bit. I'm going to hit my drive just to bring more volume to it. Now I'm going to hit the chorus. Now it's not going to sound exactly the same, and again, this is just a starting point, but that's one basic way to create this patch using the Thor. After that, I would advise, playing with the LFO. You might want to switch these out if you're more comfortable or want to experiment a little bit more, and adjust these parameters ever so slightly. And from that point, you can add, saturations, shapers, whatever effects you want to add more volume and more body to the sound. That's the basic starting point. I'll do this again using Europa. Same idea. The reason I want to do this demonstration on Europa is because Europa is a different synth with a different characteristic of sounds, blah, blah, blah. More specifically, how you engage your format filter using this filter right here, the process is going to be a little different. So I'm going to show you that. So I'm going to, again, reset my device. Sine wave for right now. I'm going to drive the shape all the way over to the right. Let's get that sawtooth wave. very much a different texture compared to Thor. And that's okay. We want to turn on the spectral filter. We want to go here to our filter types. And again, we want to do a vocal format. I'm going to pan it over to the right for right now, about 85%. And then I'm going to adjust my resonance. And you see how I'm getting that sound? It's as I adjust the resonance on this filter, I'm almost sweeping through the vowel sound to get that eow sound. So what I'm going to do, I got my setting right at the 70. I wouldn't go past 75. I usually probably stay in the 67 range, or pardon me, 76 range, and sweep your resonant filter or your resonant marker over to the left. Now, again, keeping it simple, LFO. This time I'm only going to need 2 instances of the LFO. I could use my envelope. I don't want to. I know, shame on me. Somebody's gonna say, just use the envelope number 2. And I could, but I'm not going to. Not yet. Again, I'm gonna go to my destination, engine 1. And let's see. Scrolling over. Filter frequency. Click on that. LFO 1 again. And again, filter frequency. I'm gonna click on resonance. Boom. Nothing yet. I'm gonna bring my amount down. So the more I pan it over, the harder the LFO is going to pan that resonance marker to the left. I'm going to go back to my LFO, and what I just want to do is just adjust the frequency. Now, mind you, because I'm using an LFO, the LFO is a low frequency oscillator, it is going to, continue to cycle back and forth. And so that's where using an envelope will give you a different effect. Depending on how you set up that envelope, you can potentially just go through that sound once, and instead of it going back and forth, it'll just give you one sweep through the sound. I'm personally going to keep my settings the way they are because I do want some deviation from the original patch. But that's, again, we have a basic starting point. And again, we're going to go here to the effects section, hit phaser. I'm going to go to my chorus. That's the basic idea. I might hit that unison. Yeah, let's see. I'll leave it to count on. I might detune it just a smidge. just to fatten up the sound. So that's it. Those are two basic ways that you can use Reason's, their instruments in order to get that sound. This sound can be created on any VST that has a sawtooth wave and a format filter. And again, it's just a matter of playing with that format filter, either using LFOs or envelopes to get that initial sound. For a reference point, let's see. I just downloaded it. I'll give you the link to the actual download. See? So I'm not starting on the exact same syllable. Yeah. Yeah. Where I'm more at an E sound. But it's pretty close. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this sound design tutorial. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I will leave a link to the description if you want the actual sound. And if you want these patches, let me know and I will put them up. My name is Tim Keys. Thank you for watching this tutorial. Peace.